But you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and we're going to just sarge on, because that's what it's all about. When life hands you lemons, you just sarge on. You just Sargon of Akkad. When life's got you down, you don't know who to turn to, you turn to Sargon of Akkad. Sargon of Akkad made me everything that I am today. Rational, atheist, MGTOW, libertarian. When I saw Sargon of Akkad, I knew that I had found my guru for life who was going to help me. And here I am. Thank you, Sargon. Thank you, Sargon.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That was Sam Hyde. He just announced that he was joining the Liberalist Party, and he's going all in. Best of luck to him. And today we're going to go ahead and we're going to delve right into it. Notorious foe, Sargon of Akkad, a guy who used to be just shit posting about ethics in games journalism and other crazy stuff like that, pretending to make a game, changing the reasons why he wanted money for it, going ahead and saying that he was a great game debugger, placing trees everywhere. Now he's the face of UKIP. Well, how did that happen? I guess the clown world meme is true. And hang on a second, I'm getting the mic issue thing. Give me a moment. All right, this should fix it. Is it coming in good now? All right. All right, we'll just move on then. Okay, a little more. All right, give me a second. Let me get that handled right away. I swear, one day I'll start the show and the mic will be good right off the bat. All right, how's that? Am I coming in loud and clear now, or should I can ramp it up just a little bit more if you want? Okay, excellent, excellent. All right, now that we got the sound quality issues out of the way, all right, let's get right into it. So a lot's happened since the old days of Goober Gabs, and Sargon's made a career for himself, leading around a bunch of skeptafags, going about making dumb videos about rationality and logic and reason, covering the same 3 or 4 tired out topics. Let's see, there's like feminism, Islam, and actually, is it just 2? Do they talk about anything else? I honestly don't know. Like occasionally they'll talk about the alt-right, but I mean, it just seems to be feminism and Islam, just one or the other. Like, yeah, evil Islamic terrorists bad. I guess women who get their panties in a twist and yell a lot bad. And the SJWs, like, you know, appealing to conservatives without actually being a conservative. It's a great gimmick for a while. I think it's kind of worn out for a while, and no one really wants to hear it. So in this day and age, Sargon's just losing relevancy. I think they all are to a degree. Like, I think that the market for, like, I think the political shit is, like, people are just disillusioned by it. They just don't care. I mean, you're either part of the pro-Trump MAGA rally, which a lot of people they're disappointed overall with the presidency, myself included, or you're just, I don't even, it's honestly, like, when it comes to politics these days, I don't even know. I just can't even get into it. It just seems like the whole thing's broken and there's no recovering from it. But that doesn't mean we can't laugh at it, especially when a supposedly major political party like UKIP decides that, hey, you know what would be a great idea? You know, since we just lost Farage and we lost pretty much all of our elected officials, there's no more MP. There's maybe 3 MPs left. Let's get a bunch of YouTubers. Let's get Sargon of Akkad, a guy called Count Dankula, and Tommy Robinson. I like, this is honestly, this is the definition of clown world. Like, imagine if a political party were to recruit Mr. Medicare Larry the Cable Guy, and I don't know. Well, actually, I was thinking Jesse Segal or Donald Trump, but I think I think both. Well, Trump's president, obviously, and the other guy's like, I think he also was ran for office at one point. Realistically, like this is just nuts. I there's no way this is going to come off right. And for those of you who think otherwise, like let's just look right into it. Like the very thing that first inspired me to go ahead and cover this, because I knew I had to cover it when I watched just the beginning of this. Now, most of this stuff I haven't looked into. I decided just to go ahead and watch it with you guys instead of like watching in advance. But there's something here that like you'll I don't even have to comment on it. It speaks for itself. Let's just play like a couple of minutes of this.
My name is Carl Benjamin. I'm a member of the United Kingdom Independence Party, and I'm campaigning to be an MEP for the southwest of England. I'm a centrist liberal, and I voted and campaigned for Brexit, so as you might imagine, I do not actually want to become an MEP.
I'm running for an MEP. I don't actually want to become an MEP. Is your vote sold? Are you pumped? Are you amped up to vote for this guy, staring into the camera with those dead eyes as he reads off a script and tells you that he doesn't want the position he's asking you for him to vote for? Like, just a brilliant introduction there. Really? Some top-level genius fedora tipping right there. I guess reading Locke 8,000 times has really pushed those new political campaign slogans to the level. Reading the 48 Rules of Power really got you going there. I mean, like, right now, he's doing a live stream. He's calling Saul Alinsky this brilliant tactician. Yes, I know he's a communist and, like, a bunch of other things, but he was great with that stuff, It sounds good, all right, guys? Like, just listen to me. I'm relevant, please. Please listen to me. Please let me be relevant. And, it's like let's just keep going with this because it's got to get like I wonder like just there's just no way it's going to sell like that can't just be the end of it.
I want to see Britain out of the European Union. However, it seems that the political class of Britain is guilty of dereliction of duty and will not deliver Britain's exit from the EU, and so now regular people like myself have to start getting our hands dirty with the political process. I am not a politician. I am an office worker and an amateur game developer turned...
Wait, what? Let's just rewind that a little bit. Let's listen to that. Let us listen to that, because...
exit from the EU, and so... now regular people like myself have to start getting our hands dirty with the political process. I am not a politician. I am an office worker and an amateur game developer turned...
He's a regular person, guys. He's just like you and I. He's a amateur game developer, guys. I totally believe him. He was probably at one point, like, a classic government, like a postal worker at some point, packaging boxes and shipping out stuff. Like maybe 5 years ago or so, like right before he decided to go online and just sit on his ass all day editing videos as a living and pretend it's important. Yeah, I'm certain of that, but a game developer? Sargon, you are not, never were, never will be a game developer. You have over and over again proven that you cannot code. You even dropped out of college because you found it boring. You don't know what debugging is. You don't know what software to buy. You beg people for money to get your project off the ground because you're too retarded to actually fund the thing yourself or find resources that would enable you to do it properly. And you keep like what more do I have to say? The guy still thinks this guy is such an ego that I think that at this point, if Sargon were remotely a normal person, he would just take it on the chin and say, hey, you know what? The game thing, yeah, it's just not for me. I got other talents. I can do those. I got a successful channel, etc. I got my family to watch over. But no, the guy still thinks he's a game developer. And Mr. Fribble in the chat says to get Veril in here. Maybe if I perform a seance, he'll come back, but I don't know, man. But anyway, I gotta find out, what else does he say?
And successful political commentator. I'm part of a class.
Oh, you gotta love how he just has to amp it up. He can't just call himself a YouTuber, no. Or he can't even just call himself a content creator if he wants to be a little bit fancy about it. He has to call himself a great political commentator. I mean, come on. This is just... I mean, like, he probably thinks himself to be among the likes of guys like Rush Limbaugh, but the thing about Rush, even though he has a big ego and all that, he kind of plays that as a joke. If you ever listen to his show, he'll specifically say that, yeah, like, you know, he says, I'm an entertainer, I'm not really all that serious about it, but this guy, I'm a great political commentator. I mean, hell, I think that most of the, like, I just, all right, let's just press play again.
Of people who have emerged from their living rooms to get involved in the way that the world is run because we're not very happy with the job that's been done so far. My online presence has always been a place for levity in addition to serious commentary, and that won't change, and neither will I apologize for it.
Oh, you gotta love that levity there, like that dry, milquetoast, professionalistic take. I just, like, full of levity, quote unquote. It's like, the guy did a video where he showed, like, I mean, this is the same guy. Like, that's another thing. Sargon likes to do this thing where he flips from being this even epic edgy troll to, oh my gosh, the serious super candidate. Like, I'm the next greatest philosopher on a dime. In one moment, he'll be joking about a game where the whole goal of the game is literally to shoot faggots, and then he'll go to, like, oh well, this is why Locke is such a great and important author. It's just like, and yeah, he can doll it up as being levity or whatever, but I mean, this is like, I think you know where this is going if you've heard anything about the news, exactly how they'll bite him in the ass, but I gotta listen to the end of this one.
Political correctness is for other people. I'm here to tell the truth. I've always been funded exclusively by my audience, making me accountable to...
No, this is a lie. Like, why does he still lie about this? Verillo covered this. Verillo covered this back in the day. Like, a few years ago, he pointed this right out several times. In fact, he creamed Netflix over it. And, like, I don't get, like, the guy makes, all right. Someone in the chat says he wants me to play the entire video and then talk about it. All right, let's do it that way. Fair enough. Let's go.
To my audience, I've never taken money from millionaire donors or corporate sponsorships, and that will not change. So why am I doing this? Well, I don't feel represented. I don't feel that the establishment is listening to people like me or my supporters. They seem to be doing the precise opposite of what we want, and it's time for a change. It's time for people who are not professional politicians to get involved to make sure the concerns of regular people are actually represented in the halls of power. So what will I do? Well, primarily, I will advocate for Brexit, the Brexit I campaign for, which is a complete withdrawal of Britain from the European Union. So Britain is once more a sovereign country, and I will do everything in my power to help Britain leave this illegitimate bloc for good. I will also do everything in my power to obstruct or rescind Article 13 of the Copyright Directive, which will be responsible for social media censorship across the continent. I will also promote the devolution of powers from the European Union and back to the member state. Now, that is obviously the opposite of what the European Union is trying to achieve, and so who knows how successful that will be, but I have to try. I will also challenge all manifestations of radical leftism as and when I find them, and I will expose them to the public via my YouTube channel so you can see what these people are doing behind closed doors. I will also oppose mass immigration to all the nations of Europe.
All right, I gotta pause that one for a second. Let's go back a bit.
See what these people are doing behind closed doors. All manifestations of radical leftism, but I have to try. I will also challenge all manifestations of radical leftism as and when I find them, and I will expose them to the public via my YouTube channel so you can...
Yeah, that's right. Part of his campaign is to make more YouTube videos. Great, brilliant strategy there. Really, really giving people a reason to vote for you. You know, most guys, most politicians, maybe not serious about it, but they'll give some kind of platitudes or placate at the very least. Give some kind of policy or agenda, a cue or indication. But this guy, he's going to create more YouTube videos to save the West. This is not a video where he's just making plans to make more video content on his channel. This isn't just an off comment. No. This is his announcement that he's running for actual office where he'll decide about what's going to happen to the constituencies of Southwest England. And he's saying he's going to make more YouTube videos. It's like this was a meme before, but I think it's like he's become the meme incarnate. The meme goes like this: the guy is at his computer, the fat fedora tipping artist at his computer desk, saying, "I'm going to save the West making YouTube videos." This is like minus fedora. That's literally him right now. Let's continue.
Can see what these people are doing behind closed doors. I will also oppose mass immigration to all the nations of Europe. If you would like to help me, you can do so in many ways. You can donate to me on Subscribestar or PayPal, links in the description. You can obviously like and comment on my videos, which is always encouraged. And most importantly, you can share everything I do on social media as far and wide as possible. If you want to get directly involved, I will certainly need activists in the southwest of England to help my campaign, as I will be travelling around there a lot in the next month or so, which happens to be the area I live in, so it's not so bad for once. If you're in the southwest and you would like to help, I'll leave a link to my Discord server in the description. The link I'll leave isn't the standard one and will bring you to a specific room where you can apply to help, and I'll come in and speak to whoever's in there and take your info and promote you to the workroom so we can start organising. The European Parliament elections are on the 23rd of May, which is a Thursday. It's time to vote for people who will work in your interests and not in the interests of the great and powerful. Thank you for everything. I will campaign hard, and I promise I will not let you down. Service guarantees citizenship. My name is Carl Benjamin.
Oh my gosh! He even put that Starship Troop he even put that Starship Troopers reference right at the end of the video. I can't even. It's like I literally can't even. Like the guy. It's like I don't know what to say. I'm baffled by this. I really am. All right, let me try to unpack this a bit. Okay, so the first thing that's bullshit about that, aside from what I already pointed out, is he claimed in the video that his only source of income was his fans backing him with Patreon and other resources like that. No, that's a complete lie. Sargon's been making bank off of ads. He did a whole thing about how the ad apocalypse was hurting his bottom line and his income. He made a very sticking point about this with all the other Skeptifacts. He made sure that everyone knew that the ad revenue thing was a big issue. So he's making shit up when he says that. And this has influenced him in the past. For example, when he announced on his channel he was going to censor comments to go ahead that when he said in the past that he couldn't have comments that were too critical of Islam. Of course, now it's like, oh, well, Muslims are the final boss and the worst thing ever because they're mean to gay people and they make women cover up, which, yeah, those are some great reasons to oppose Islam there. Brilliant takes by the skeptic community. Some other things of interest of this video that he's making out the case. I noticed he said he was going to prevent mass immigration, not to England, not to the UK, but to Europe. How is he going to do that when he also said that his big promise to leave the EU? Like, those two things don't gel. You can't decide what other countries do and also decide you're not going to be involved or take part in those other countries' plans and development. I don't think he thought that one through. And I also don't think this whole Article 13 thing, realistically, like this whole thing, Article 13 has been heavily overplayed. It's not. I don't think it's a good bill. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's the end of the internet. I think that a lot of people, Jim included, have gotten this one wrong. There's just no the first thing was, oh, it's gonna hurt memes or whatever. They've put a clause specifically in there to basically say, if it's fair use, you're pretty much covered. Like if you're using memes or whatever, or you're posting just some short snippets, you're fine. You're not going to be, we're not going to hold platforms accountable for this. And what does the law actually do? If people actually did their research on this and actually decided to look into it, they would see that copyright law is pretty much still going to be the same, only there's going to be more accountability to the platforms themselves as opposed to people uploading it. Now, yes, that can have some ramifications down the line, but it doesn't really. It's not this big internet killer everyone's making out to be. And when I asked the question of who does this really affect, people this is the whole problem with Sargon claiming that he's just one of us normal people that are failed game devs and YouTube creators with subs, thousands of subs, just because this guy right here really reflects the average Anglo, which, as much as I joke about Anglos being terrible these days, I don't think they're that bad. I really don't. And if he can't, and the whole thing about Sargon, and this is a point that a lot of people brought up, most of his content is just playing shit from other people that he didn't ask for permission for, which, okay, yeah, I kind of do the same thing. Fair enough. A lot of people do. I'm not saying I agree with copyright law, so with all the ins and outs of copyright law, but the thing about Article 13, all these YouTubers complaining about it, is if they were held to actually uphold, if they actually had to have standards when it came to whose content they could actually use, etc., then it'd be a case of they would actually have to pay money out. They would either have to pay money or ask for permission, or actually, instead of using entire speeches like Sargon does or entire things that are well beyond the realm of fair use, they'd actually have to make content that's around that as opposed to that being a substitute for it. So, no, I don't think this Article 13 push is a big deal. I don't think it concerns a lot of people. And realistically, he says he's doing this for your interests. I think the part where he said that he's doing this for YouTube clicks, etc. Yeah, the fact that he's incorporating his YouTube channel into his campaign should tell you that this is serving him. This is nothing about the people at all. This is just his ego. He can't even get over the fact that he's not a game dev. He can't. There's nothing more to say about this guy. No, actually, no, that's not true. I got a lot more to say, because this is cringy and enough on its own. But maybe it's a bad start. Maybe this is he just you're getting to shift the first time. You kind of mess with the gears a bit, and you just and there's a bump in the road, but I don't think that's the case. Because let's see, there was a press conference recently, and the media's been doing a lot of takes on this, and well, let's just listen to this, and then I'll give my thoughts on it.
It was 5 years ago when UKIP took the most seats at the European parliamentary elections. Now only 3 of those 24 MEPs still represent the party, and the leader, Nigel Farage, has gone.
Please welcome Gerard.
Still, they fight on.
UKIP is the authentic party of Brexit. We're the true party of Leave.
Behind Jared Batten on stage, a selection of the candidates for an election they do not even want to happen.
There wouldn't be European elections if the referendum decision had been honoured. The democratic decision of 17.4 million people has been deliberately and cynically betrayed by the political class.
The spectre of Mr Farage weighed heavily at this conference. Even the slogan seemed aimed at his new Brexit party, which has not only attracted some former...
Yeah, a bit of context for those out there know. Farage recently left the UKIP party. And honestly, I think he did the right call, because the reason he said he left was because of Tommy Robinson. I also think it was a little bit because of guys like Sargon of Akkad and Count Dankula, and it's, you know what, let's just continue playing the clip first, and then I'll comment on it.
UKIP MEPs, but also appears to be doing well in recent polls. The biggest problem, however, for UKIP will be getting the public to distinguish between them and the Brexit Party, or to even engage in the European elections.
I don't follow UKIP. I like Nigel Farage, because he's got good rhetoric and he seems to know what he's talking about.
I might not vote at all. Too old to fathom about what's going on.
I gotta agree with that sentiment, and I think that a lot of people are feeling that. By the way, like she might be like an old Anglo boomer or whatever, but yeah, politics just have been the same old story for the past, at least like in my experience, like as far back as I can remember, it's been like this. Like, I mean, this same sort of meandering back and forth for the past 20 so years. So things actually changing, things actually being done for the people. Nah, that's a pipe dream. I think a lot of people are waking up to that.
Mr. Batten has proved a controversial party leader, repeating his belief that Islam is a death cult and taking on former English Defence League founder Tommy Robinson as an advisor. And there are questions now over his choice of some of the new candidates. Carl Benjamin on the left, a YouTuber known as Sargon of Akkad, and Mark Meekan, or Count Dankula. First, Mr. Benjamin. 3 years ago, he tweeted this about a Labour MP: "I wouldn't even rape you," at Jess Phillips. Last night in West London, a Channel 4 News producer was at a performance where he was asked how well Mr. Batten had handled questions about that tweet.
Honestly, if I were Jared Batten, I'd been like, well, I wouldn't even either. But seriously though, I'm going to get in so much trouble. I think he handled it well. I mean, it was a form of satire, you know.
And Mr. Meekan, fined £800 in 2018 for filming a pet dog giving Nazi salutes. Last night, he said this.
I've been a student, most of you have probably been students. We were poor, weren't we? You couldn't afford a hooker, so you had to rape. I mean, it's even worse if you're a female student, because not only are you poor, but you're always getting raped.
So back.
You know, I think there's a possibility, I could be wrong about this, but there is a possibility that Count Dankula is just fucking with UKIP. Because this guy says that just a few nights ago. And yeah, right, funny, haha, that might be okay for a comedian, but for a politician, there's no way he can possibly get away with that, even as a joke, and expect to run for office. Like honest, like Sargon's just an idiot. There's just no way he thought about the long-term ramifications about his statements that were, like I said before, him flipping from being an epic Lee Edgelord troll to, oh my, I'm a serious philosopher, doesn't really bode well and puts a bad taste in people's mouths. But in Dankula's case, I think the fag here, he might just be fucking with UKIP. Like, he's not wearing a suit in these appearances anymore. He's just going there. He has all the piercings on. He's just basically going ahead and saying, hey, you know, sometimes you can't get laid. Sometimes you got to rape a bitch. He might genuinely just be fucking with them. I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of that.
To today, Mr. Batten invited both men who are UKIP candidates to come to the stage, where we asked about last night's comments. You were, when asked about Gerard's handling of the rape tweet, you said, honestly...
Sorry, what tweet?
The tweet, a question about rape of a Labour politician.
There was no question about rape, that's a lie, and I'm not going to accept that framing. No, I'm not accepting that framing.
Okay, you tell me how I should.
I wouldn't even. That's not a threat, it's not a cause of action, it's actually just a defense.
Okay, thank you.
What a brilliant clarification there from Sargon of Akkad. Like, the fact that I'm referring to this guy as Sargon of Akkad in the first place, that he's more well known for a pen name than his actual real name. It's just laughable. Like, I mean, he can dance around the issue and say, well, you know, if you study semantics and definitions, telling someone that you wouldn't do something specifically, that's not a threat, guys. Yeah, like, you know, for example, if someone hypothetically were to go up to Sargon and said, I wouldn't even abort your child, yeah, that'd be totally a joke. It wouldn't have any ill intent whatsoever. It wouldn't be offensive. It would just be a joke. Or if they said, I wouldn't even beat up your wife, or I wouldn't even hit you over the head with a lead pipe. Those would all be jokes. This would be perfectly normal, neurotypical behavior that how could anyone possibly have an objection to, now that I think about it? This is all rather silly, isn't it? Let's continue.
I'm not going to be apologising for my crimes against political correctness. I hate political correctness.
The second one was to Mark, who was, we were all poor students, weren't we? We couldn't afford a hookup, so we had to rape. Words of you're a poor female student. Not only are you poor, you keep getting raped. Jared, are you willing to associate yourself with comments on rape?
I wasn't at the show. I don't condone any comments or jokes about that. This was part of, I believe, a stand-up comedy show.
So,
I mean, just look at that. Like, the moment this comes up, Sargon has to jump in and answer for Dankula and try to damage control the situation, and Batten immediately disavows, saying that he doesn't want anything to do with these jokes. I think Batten realizes that this desperate bid he has, it's going to hurt him. I think at that moment right there, he was like, oh shit. In fact, let's take a look back at that, because I remember watching this clip. And let's take a look here.
This was part of
Can we get a zoom into his face?
Show.
So what did the rape?
I wasn't at.
Are you poor? You keep getting raped. Jared, are you willing to associate yourself with comments on rape?
I wasn't at the show. I don't condone any comments or jokes about that.
I can't get into the frame here, but if you take a look at his expression as it changes, you can see he has like a visible like oh shit moment right there when this is coming up. He realizes that this may have been a bad idea to have these guys as his frontmen.
This was part of, I believe, a stand-up comedy show.
So what did the female UKIP candidates sharing the stage with these men think?
I have to trust Gerard that he's doing the right thing on that.
You think that rape is worthy of comedy?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You're telling me that you're worried about these men out on rape charges, and yet you have people making light of rape.
Can I just say, please ask Carl Benjamin, I don't even know what he said.
Mr.
Damn, thrown right under that bus. Like, turns out that, maybe this kind of behavior of like going from the epic troll to serious politician, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it just does not gel. Maybe there's a few problems with it. Maybe people aren't comfortable with saying, hey, you know what? I don't know what to, again, I keep on getting baffled by this. I really shouldn't at this point. Like, with all the weird stuff that's happening here. Yeah, I think someone in the chat said it best. The optics were bad. All right, let's play some more of this and let's continue.
Batten says UKIP is now the party of ordinary, decent people and has ignored a call from some in the local party in Swindon to deselect Carl Benjamin.
All right, that's pretty much the gist of what's going of that conference. But there's more. There's plenty more. It's got some great highlights here from Metro. And let's see, we'll play this one. First, I want to read a little bit of the chat, though, because I see a ghost has actually came up. Maybe that seance worked. Is this real? Is this really Verilo? Because I could have sworn this guy died. Anyway, he says in the chat, I feel like I told people in 2015 that this guy was a cuck, a con man, and a lipshit. Don't know he was a good. He was also a traitor to his country. LOL. And I think the point is to make copyright institutions. And then he comments on the Article 13 thing. I think the point is to make copyright institutions. People have to register. Too much uncontrolled money on the internet going. Yeah, that's. I mean, that is one possibility with the Article 13 thing. Well, like I said before, though, I'm still sticking with it's not as big a deal as people are making out to be. It's not the big internet killer. I think that issues like what was it? The Real ID shit, which I think Jim is correct on that point. Yeah, it's gonna come, and I think that even though even though I don't like degeneracy, I really don't. I think that the UK's push for you got to have an ID in order to view porn on the internet. I think that's a step in the real ID direction. I think that's the whole point of that. And they're just getting people together on like an issue that they can say, well, nobody wants kids watching porn, so let's just have everyone register for it, and it'll just be for porn. It won't be for anything else, which would make sense, but it's not. They're not going to stop at that. They're going to say that if you have anything you want to publish online, you got to sanitize it and make sure you're not looking at anything too problematic or whatever. All right, let's play some more clip. Let me read a few more comments though. Yeah, I'll read them at the end. I'll read more at the end. Let's play this.
To do 1 minute on why you're running as an MEP for UKIP. Carl, you go ahead.
Oh, because you guys are severely mismanaging the country. I mean, really, I'm just here to kind of mock the legacy media. Your numbers are going down every day, and our numbers are going up, right? Like combined, the YouTubers are getting like 30 million views a month. You're dying. And it's because do you know what your rating is on Trustpilot, a business review site? 84% 1 star for the BBC, 59% 1 star for ITV, and 72% 1 star for Channel 4. I don't care what you say. You are just smear merchants. Not one of you can tell me what I believe. Not one of you knows. But all of the public know because they can go to my YouTube channel, Sargon of Akkad, and just watch for themselves. I've been doing this for 5 years. I have nearly 1 million subscribers. Just go and have a look. I'm not answering your questions. I'm not apologizing for anything. You dirty, dirty smear merchants. Get Ben.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know the phrase merchant is often used in reference to a certain ethnic class of people. I'm not saying that was Sargon's intent, but I am saying that might be how it comes off to a lot of people. Just saying. And you may have noticed in that clip there, he does this thing again. He tries to be all serious. I'm going to run for office. And when he specifically asks, well, why are you running for office? He can't give a straight answer. He says, oh, you people are messing everything up. Well, that's what that's what everyone says. Whether you're running for office or whether you're just a citizen who has an opinion about something, you always think that the system is messed up. Otherwise, you really wouldn't be speaking out about it. And then he says, well, really, I'm just here to troll you guys. Ha ha ha. You guys are retarded. And now it's and now it's like, oh, and the other thing he once said, that's just wrong. It's about the numbers thing. If you actually look at if you actually look at people's channels on like Fox News, CNN, etc., they have an online presence. They have they have a lot bigger numbers than people realize. They get a lot of hits on their subscribers, on their bases, on their views. People look at that stuff because they want to read the news. They want to be informed. And yeah, it's true, they get information from YouTubers that are filtered through these news articles and such. But what these YouTubers who are in the quote-unquote alt media are doing is they're taking mainstream sources because most of the time, 99 out of 100 times, they can't get an original scoop themselves. They don't know how to do that. They're not competent enough to have any actual talent. They're just taking stuff from the news and repackaging it into a different context, which, I mean, I'm talking dismissively of the idea, but you can, if you do it right, you can actually make decent stuff about it if you're good at analysis. Which, again, these guys aren't. So I guess they're 2 for 2 on that front at losing. Sticks and Hammer told you not to listen to mainstream media. What do you think he's listening to whenever he makes a video? He has to get it from the mainstream media. He doesn't have an alternative source, and it's and when they do come up with alternative sources, when they do quote-unquote reporting work, I've noticed it tends to be blonde women. Both Laura Loomer and Lauren Southern both tried that shtick. But if you actually take a look at the reporting, it's pretty gay. It's pretty lame. They don't actually do much substantive research. They just find some things that look like it's pointing to a conspiracy theory of some kind. And they say, well, you guys connect the dots, and then you tell us that yeah, this is what's definitely going on. But we're objective guys, believe us. We're not tugging at your heartstrings by showing murders of people that we don't know the circumstances of the victims of or any kind of connection there. No, we're just going to throw it at you and you figure it out. Like, it's totally not a hack job that we just put out there. And yeah, like, the mainstream media isn't going away anytime soon. They can still make or break somebody if they want to. Yeah, they mess up a lot of the time. Yes, they lie. Yes, they're not trusted. But they're still making money because where else are you going to get your information from? You have to, at the end of the day, rely on mainstream sources to know things outside of your own bubble for the most part. And again, like, that's not to say that it's impossible to have an actual alternative, like, reporting agency or whatever. I know there are some people who actually try it, but the reality is these guys aren't doing that. They're not really alt media. They're more like proxy media. They just give you an alternative take, an alternative opinion, which, again, it could be valuable, but these guys are pseudo-intellectuals, and guys like Sticks and Hammer, guys like Sargon, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to look things at their proper context. They have a predetermined conclusion before they analyze things, and they just run with it. And I mean, like, I'd be fine with it if they didn't do this dumb "we're gonna save the West" sort of shit, because they're not changing anything by producing the kind of stuff they're producing. It's not the reality. And no, this clearly doesn't make you qualify for politics either, as we'll continue to see. Now, this one's a keeper. Let's listen to this one as well.
Please.
Suggested earlier that if I would like to hold his candidate to account,
Well, ask him. Ask him.
Okay.
So I would like to ask Carl Benjamin.
Go ahead.
Why you think it is acceptable to say on Twitter that you wouldn't even rate a female Labour MP?
Because I don't think when there are any difference in them in the way that we should treat them. Unlike the establishment, unlike our judges, who literally say if you were a man, I would send you to jail, I think we should treat women the same as men. And that means if a woman is being a giant bitch and laughing at male suicide, I'm going to be a giant dick back to her. Any questions?
So it's acceptable?
Yes!
Now we.
Oh, look at that. Look at that, guys. He is based and red-pilled. He is sticking it to women. He's telling them that he'd just make the same kind of horrible jokes he makes to women to men. Like, does this guy, like, does he not realize, did he not think of, in the first place, how he come off? Like, he just opens his mouth and yells about this stuff, and he has no sense of his own, presence. Like, he's just going out with the profanities. He's going ahead saying, calling saying he's going to be like this huge dick. He's going to be a bit like, he's calling her a bitch, and he can't handle it because this has been a thing that has been going on for, like, it's been going on for how long? Like, this started in 2017, 2016. It's been going on for at least 2 years. I don't think I don't think it's a case of where the media, it keeps hounding him with this and he can't get away from it. I think it's a case of he knows he fucked up. He knows he fucked up. But instead of admitting he fucked up or just, ignoring it, he can't let it go. His ego always gets the better of him. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this stream, like, seriously, I've known that Sargon has in the past, like, for a while, would mention my name every once in a while, whenever he got particularly perturbed. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets his attention, he complains about it. I really wouldn't. It's what he does. The guy just keeps getting angry and agitated because, yeah, like, what he said was pretty disgusting, and he knows it, and everyone else can tell that it was pretty disgusting. And he tries to debate the issue and go, like, around it, but he really can't. And it's like, and again, this wouldn't matter as much if he just ignored it. Like, here's a better, like, here, I'll throw one to Sargon. I'll throw him a bone on this one. You want to get around this? Here's an easy way. Instead of just trying to make a big statement about how much the legacy media is after you and how they're old dinosaurs and you're going to bring people up and really tell them about Loki and all this other shit, just say no comment and then move on to the next question. Boom, you're done. Like, I probably saved you, like, I probably just saved you a whole bunch of future embarrassment there, but I don't think you'll ever take that advice. I think that if you were to ever seriously examine yourself, you'd be like, nah, I should just keep doing this stupid thing I keep doing. Everyone keeps on telling me I'm fucking up, but you know what? Let me keep doing it. And honestly, I cannot think of a better... I can't think of anything more fitting than to see you perpetually getting mocked forever by everyone for this sort of shit.
Live on stage, you were, when asked about Gerald's handling of the rape tweet, you said...
Sorry, what? The what tweet?
The rape tweet.
Alright, I already played that one in the other video. Let's see. And then the article. I'm not really going to go over the whole article, but I'm curious what they're highlighting as far as his Count Dankula stuff goes. Which, Count Dankula has been getting away with murder, frankly. Like, actually, let's just take a look at something real quick. Let's do a live research right here. Get to what I mean. Because I think I mentioned this before. Count Dankula fundraiser. Look that up. Does anyone know what happened to this? I think I highlighted this before, but has there been any updates on this? Oh, there's one update. Has been recent. 1 month ago. Alright, so what's the content? Well, I should probably explain what the hell is going on by this. Alright, so Count Dankula made a video like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't forget, like 3 years ago, was it? I think it was in 2016. He made a video where he had this pug and he was doing a bit where he was training the dog to raise his hand like he was making a Hitler salute. Raise his paw, rather. Like he was making a Hitler salute. And he was doing this with phrases like gas the Jews and what was the other phrase he used? And Hail Hitler. Those are the two phrases he used. And he was giggling and cackling while saying those phrases. And this fell under violation of England's gross offence laws. Which, is the law unfair? Yes. Did Count Dankula break it? Absolutely. There's just no getting around that. Like, I don't see why he deserves a pass because he fucked up. Everyone else does, but I'm not having sympathy for this guy. But let's just say that I'm an overly cynical bastard, and the guy deserves a kickback fund, if you will. Like, he deserves a way to fight back against those SJWs, keeping him in jail cell, and taking the poor pug away. Well, the pug was never taken away. That's just a bit of a hyperbole there. But what is he doing with this money? Like, the appeal's gotten nowhere to the best of my knowledge. Like, it hasn't. Like, from what I understanding, like, anyone who's familiar with, like, the law in Angloland can feel free to correct me on this in the chat. But to the best of my knowledge, I don't think Dankula has a way out. He has to either pay the fine or go to jail. Like, and that's pretty much it. So, let me just look at this real quick. Providing an update on here, I have been providing updates via Twitter, but I understand that's not everyone uses Twitter. Excellent legal counsel was secured, and we started the appeal process via the Sheriff Court of Appeals. We, however, were rejected at both stages of approval. The issue with the new system of the Sheriff Court of Appeals is once you are rejected from there, it is the end of the road, and there is no option to continue on to the High Court of Appeals, something that was possible with the old system. This problem is something highly contested within the legal community, and many people seek to change it. We then won't try the path of noble affecum. What? My American is showing. I don't know what this word means or is. If someone can tell me the pronunciation of it, that'd be great. This is a special appeal process, process where we appeal directly to the highest judges in the land to hear our case. This took place last month. Blah blah blah. The paths we are going down now is the Scottish Criminal Case Review Commission, who are a body who review cases to identify miscarriages of justice, who can then refer to the cases of the High Court of Appeal, which ideally is where we would like to be. This process, however, can take months. Another route for my legal counsel have gone down is cutting the middleman, appealing directly to the Supreme Court in London and to get them to hear our case. This has been submitted, but again, it can take a while to hear back from them. The final option, which is the big one, is to submit our case to the European Court of Human Rights. They, however, would not hear our case until we have every available appeal body, until we have used up every available appeal body available to us. This, however, would be an extremely expensive process, so even if they do accept our case, even with the current funds, it may not be possible for us to do it, but we can cross that bridge when we come to it. The fundraising, the most frustrating thing for us, and I'm sure you too, is how long all this takes. It takes months for a lot of these things to happen. As for the funds themselves, they're being held in an escrow by my legal. Yeah, I'm sure that there's some trusted anonymous source that's holding on to the money, and you're not just using that to pay off your rent or whatever. Like, I don't buy this for 1 minute. I don't buy that this guy ever had a realistic plan to go ahead and appeal this case or whatever. And I'm getting word in the chat that the money was already taken from his account, and that this is a said and done case. Like, why isn't this the end of this guy's career? Like, seriously, this guy scammed his entire community of almost 200,000 pounds. That's $250,000. Why does this guy get away with it? Like, he gets, like, not, I think even Jim dropped the ball. They said, oh, Dankula is saying things that make me think he's a real earnest, honest guy. He really believes what he's saying. No, I don't buy that for one bit. I don't buy the whole sympathy gambit that he's been playing this entire time. I don't buy that sort of stuff. I think it's nonsense. I think it's stupid, and I think this guy's a con man. Like, and he's friends with Sargon, so yeah, that would figure that he himself would be a con man as well. And this is the face of the UKIP. This is the guy they picked, a guy who's like makes overtly racist jokes, which, again, I'm not trying to like say that that's the worst thing ever, but from a practical point of view, when it comes to politics, you can't make racist jokes. That's not how the world works. Like, you want to appeal to as many people as possible, including significant demographics in your electoral districts. Having a guy who makes racial humor in this day and age, in this liberal society we live in, it isn't going to work out. Sorry. So, like, UKIP is just retarded. Like, they really fucked themselves by doing this. And yeah, like, honestly, I think this whole Dankula stuff, it warrants further research into this. It warrants more looking into see what exactly was the history behind this thing, what exactly has the money has been going on. And if you happen to be a fan of Dankula and you're listening to this, do me a favor, ask him where the money is, where it's going to go, and why he hasn't just refunded the damn thing, because it's obviously not worth it to go through all these routes. The law's never going to be changed. And if you think that this law has been in effect for decades now, it's a case where Dankula fucked up. That's how it is. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, you can say it's unfair. Yes, I would agree it's unfair, but just appeal the law itself. Don't worry about this one loser, one degenerate's fate. Like, that shouldn't be the goal. Like, his personal problems shouldn't be something that you fund. I mean, like, some people have said that I've been too critical of, like, the Kick Vic thing and stuff like that, which I'm not saying that these two things are in any way similar, so don't take me out of context there. But I don't get this attitude that people have where they see someone on the internet, they're down on their luck, and they're like a popular guy, so they got to help them out. It just doesn't occur to me to, like, start paying their bills. Like, that's just dumb. But anyway, I think I've rambled on about this tangent for a bit too long. Let's laugh at more idiots in UKIP. Well, this is an idiot in UKIP, so let's continue laughing at UKIP's idiots in UKIP. All right. We got this coverage from Sky News, which I think I'll skip over this one because I think the other news network pretty much said the same thing. But actually, there's a few moments here that I do want to get into a bit because they have a different angle to this.
If you're angry about the Brexit delay, as many here on the Kent coast are, in these unexpected elections, do you vote for UKIP, the party Nigel Farage made great again, or for Nigel Farage's new Brexit party?
You are here today at the birth, at the launch of a new force in British politics. Welcome to the Brexit Party.
Farage led UKIP to first place 5 years ago in the last European elections, the prelude to Leave's 2016 referendum win. But now he's formed his own party, Brexit, and UKIP is under fire from its former top salesman.
They've attracted a fairly, shall I say, loutish fringe, and we certainly saw that when we had the Leave Means Leave rally.
Thanet voted overwhelmingly to leave the EU, but narrowly chose a Conservative over Farage as their Westminster MP.
So if you're weighing up the choice between UKIP and the Brexit Party, which way do you go? I've come to the Royal Victoria Pavilion, now the largest Wetherspoons in Britain, to start finding out.
I do have to say, I was never really a big Farage guy. Like, he was like, okay, he's a British politician who has he has a memeable face, and he's got some good zingers here and there, but he never really... I just generally don't care about European politics, but knowing that he created a party that technically is designed to just destroy Sargon of Akkad, you know what? I'm a big Farage fan now. Farage is our Anglo. It's just like once you like, he's actually going to go ahead and finish him off. Yeah, good on him, honestly. And actually, it's not just Sargon though. He's also going to get into some guys like Mr. Robinson and Dankula. So bonus, yeah.
I think I'd be voting for him, to be quite honest, yes, because I think that UKIP have got some issues. They're saddled with a few things that can actually weigh them down. I'm not always actually in agreement with the UKIP leadership and the way that they've portrayed it, and they have had some problems in the past.
It is very confusing, but I just hope people will want to vote for him again.
Do you know who you're going to vote for?
I won't vote.
Not?
I won't vote this year, no.
Not even for Nigel Farage or UKIP?
No, I wouldn't vote for.
Who are you going to vote for?
My husband I put in already because we're postal. I put him in for UKIP because I don't know about Nigel's party yet. Where what's it called?
It's called Brexit.
Brexit.
So there's UKIP or Brexit. Which one are you going to go
for? Definitely Brexit.
Fisherman Steve Barrett took part in the famous flotilla up the...
Okay, this is actually rather boring. I thought this was going to go into the Sargon stuff, but it isn't. So I'm just going to skip the rest of this, and I think I'm going to wind things down a bit. There was a clip of Tommy Robinson I wanted to play, but we'll save that. We'll save him for another time. He's another interesting character. But I will say this about Mr. Robinson. Being like everyone has this, like, that's another case where another Anglo uses the sympathy card to boost his popularity and credibility. It's kind of similar to Tankula, only I'm not sure if it's more or less retarded. I don't know. The thing about Robinson is that he's basically was part of a party called what was it called? Like, they were essentially like the Nazis of England. And if you think that's an exaggeration, well, it kind of isn't, because they were just pretty explicitly racist, anti-Semitic, and they bought into and they were actively promoting like the whole Jewish conspiracies. Like, not that would ever be true. I mean, I'm sure that like there's been thousands of coincidences that are just convenient for a certain group of people, but you know, that's not realistic. Like, just don't think about it, guys. Just don't. But yeah, that's it. The British Nationalist Party. Like, and again, it goes back to the fact that you can't be racist. Yeah, BNP, but British Nationalist Party. Now, Robinson's defense, according to Wikipedia, is that he didn't know that they weren't allowing non-whites in. He didn't know if they were overtly racist and all this other shit. But that's a lot of crap. He was there for a good year. Like, from 2004 to 2005. There's no way he didn't know what their politics are. And like, if you think that, like, you know, being part of an overtly racist organization is gonna be the defense of, oh, you know, that was the past, that was over 20 years ago, it's over now, I'm a changed man. If you think that's gonna work in the political arena, no, you're wrong. It's like these kinds of things people remember. No, I'm not talking about the English Defence League though, because I know people like bring it up, and English Defence League, you could argue, well, that's a bit like, I'm not sure why they go to the English Defence League, really, because the British Nationalist Party is like an extreme version of the English Defence League. Like, seriously, just look it up. Tommy Robinson was a part of that. And honestly, like, and the way I would bring about the English Defense League is, okay, so Islam is a definite problem. I'm not going to disagree with that. I don't agree with it theologically. I don't agree with some of their cultural values, like the polygamy shit and stuff like that. And a lot of times they go for like they go for a more like they're too extreme with some of their stances in some cases, I guess. But a lot of times people use the whole "oh, I'm against Islam" as a cover to say that I don't like Arabs, and that's what it comes down to. I don't like these Arab immigrants. I don't want them all in here. And how would you know about that if how like and how would we know that Robinson is one of those people who thinks that way? The reason being is the the reason being that he was part of the British Nationalist, he was part of the British Nationalist Party. He's not this guy who's like in there because he wants to be this freedom fighter like he purports himself to be, but he wants to be there because he just wants to push this frankly, like there's this attitude that racism is cool now because liberals oppose it and it's edgy and shit. And honestly, like it's just dumb. Like I don't think these people that are promoting it get out much. I think they're just looking for money from a bunch of pay pickies. It's going to a very base instinct that people have of like feeling with your own kind or whatever, and they don't even have a strong grasp of politics or whatever. So I don't know. It's just I think that's so. I don't think it's unfair to say that Robinson isn't really that great of a guy. And beyond that, even if we want to go with the idea that, well, he no longer agrees with this stuff, he's a changed man. He's really focusing on the more extreme side of Islam. He's gotten into a number of scandals where he's been arrested for assault charges, for a criminal battery charge. Okay, I don't know if it's been criminal battery charges, but a number of assault charges, fraud, continual harassment. And with the whole court scandal thing, like the big news about that was, oh no, he was arrested for taking footage of a courtroom. Well, yeah, this has been another example. This has been a common law for a while, and he just violated it. And before that, he was arrested for it, and he was told, okay, we'll let you off this time, but don't do it again. And what does he do? He decides to do it again. And for all of his coverage of the Muslim rape gangs and such, he's never actually gotten any new information out. He's just been spreading awareness about the issue. It's like, it's not one of these Save the West faggots. It's like they take things that either are true or not true, and they're just, it's just like, honestly, Tommy is even more of a grifter than Carl and Danko combined. I guess in the sense that he's been at it longer. Like, as far as I'm concerned, they're all the same beast. And he's also an Israeli asset. Wouldn't surprise me. It would not. All right. I think we're just going to wrap things up now. One thing, though. If you happen to be in the Discord server and you'd like to be on the show, I'll let you in. Just join the voice channel that's there, and I'll move you to the call-in section. All right. So let me just go over the chat real quick because there's a bunch of messages that I didn't go over. All right. Let's see. Sargon wishes he was Trump. Yeah. Well, they have a lot of similarities. They're both con men. They're both shit. They both have terrible, they're both stupid. And they try to make up for it by being epic memers. But there is a difference. There's a difference between these two men. Trump's successful in a lot of ways that Sargon isn't. Trump, I could just say about their love relationships. Trump has had 3 wives, and Sargon's had 1, and he's flirted with well, that's not such a good comparison there. But Trump has had multiple offspring that has been his own. Sargon has had maybe 1 child at best, and is raising another man's child. What else is there? Oh, most importantly, actually, more than the personal shit, Trump's funny. Like, you can not like the guy, you can hate the guy, whatever. He is legitimately funny. He actually has a sense of humor that's memeable. I mean, even people who hate Trump have to admit he's good with the memes. Like, that's the thing that Sargon will never have. Trump can actually make things work for him. Like, Trump can actually make people laugh. Sargon can't. So, yeah, there are a lot of similarities between these two gentlemen. But even still, someone as bad as Trump, he still wins out. Let's see. Hey John, your when Jim didn't find it funny more video blew the hell up in view count. I think the algorithm picked it up. Like, honestly, from what I'm looking at, it was just dumb luck. But at the same time, though, it's gotten a lot of views, a lot. But again, I think it was just dumb luck, to be honest. I posted it there for I posted up there before I started doing streams again, just because I thought it was a good speech by Jim on the furry fandom. Because honestly, they are a bunch of degenerates, and seriously, fuck those guys. Don't go on BBC Radio again, Carl. I mean, he never learns. He's not gonna not go on BBC. I mean, if the rumors are true, he's certainly pining for some BBC, just not the media kind. Amateur game dev. That is something that, in Sargon's mind, he is still an amateur game dev. Like, seriously, by that logic, I'm a game developer because I've modded shit in I've modded shit back in 2005, 2006, actually a little bit after that, but in the old Warcraft 3 game. So because of that, I guess maybe I should put game dev in my bio or some shit like that. Anyway, that's about as much as a game developer Sargon ever was, except he probably couldn't even make a decent mod if he tried. The EU extended the deadline to October 31st, 2019 for Brexit negotiations. Yeah, I've heard about that. I heard that it was extended to October. I didn't know the exact date though. Honestly, I don't even know. Here's the thing about the Brexit issue. I don't think most people voted for it with this freedom mentality in mind. I think they just voted for it because, we can save money with the NHS. It will stop immigration, and it's I don't want to get into the super political stuff about it because, again, it's Europe. Why do I care about Europe? It's just a mess. But the point is, just to sum that up real quick, I don't think people were voting for it for any kind of altruist, some kind of higher level reasoning about needing autonomy, like people advertise it as. I think that people voted for it for economic reasons, and that blew up in their face. Get Barlow in here. Well, he did make a reappearance in the chat. Maybe we'll have him on in the future. If he wants to join on, since this is a colon section, he's free to come on. If not, that's fine as well. Netscape 9 is a lolcow. Yeah, I think that he deserves. Honestly, I think that if I would just put the spotlight on him, he'd get a lot more attention. I don't know. Is he still one of those true believers who's still doing the Gamergate shit still? Because I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would laugh or just shake my head at that. The kid is just. I don't know. He was also a two-piece piece of shit too. So they don't care about YouTubers. No. How dare the politicians not care about YouTubers? Oh man, what kind of clown world is this? The Grim Reaper meme has chosen its next target. Sargon will kill Brexit next. Can he ultra kill it? I think it's dead already. I think that Anglos killed it themselves. And realistically, I Theresa May gets a lot of shit, but to my understanding, she didn't really have a choice. That's the bet. Apparently, there was no way she could possibly pull it off without economic collapse or something like that. Which is why, again, I'm thinking that people just voted for Brexit because, oh my gosh, it'll fix the economy, guys, and not think of any other kind of implications. He must have done a line of coke before writing this everyman speech. Sargon, I honestly would explain the dead-eye expression he has, which, if you ever see a guy in front of a camera on YouTube speaking to you in a very cordial, very formal tone, and just looking at you, just look at the eyes. The eyes will give it away, because they always have the dead eyes. Like Baked Alaska did it in his video. Sargon had it in the videos I played. Like in the announcement video. They're not real. Like, it just shows how fake they are. The only thing missing is he starts showing Israel. Israel's our greatest ally meme to milk shekels from the Shylocks. I think that's in reference to Sargon, possibly. I'm going to laugh when he gets into a debate with an expert. Oh, I'm going to laugh when he gets into a debate with any expert. Oh, I am not the expert. I am a common man. Yeah, a common man who was making 6 figures a month. Yeah, that's a good point. I still love the fact that he even cut to people like Thunderfoot, claiming that he was bullied and that he was a common man. Hope he doesn't mean that when he's when he is that sort of common. Yeah, like the guy. I can't I can't add to that. I really can't. 5 seconds of stream. I'm literally hearing Pseudo Medicare yell at him. Hearing Pseudo Medicare yell at me. I don't. Okay. The UK was among 19 countries that voted in favor of adopting Article 13, made famous by the European Council. Makes sense. Man, WWE missed the chance to make a higher production. Final deletion. I think they did. It's probably one of like 6 people. There were 6. There's probably 6 people got that joke, and I think that 3 of them were present. The link tax is cancer. Yeah, I think that the link tax is. I think the link tax is stupid. I don't think that copyright should extend to URLs. I think that's it probably does on a technical basis, but honestly, like if people are serious about copyright reform, they should look into these little issues like URLs being technically a copyrightable thing. I don't see a point in making those copyrighted. I don't see a point in trademarking them. I mean, I can't think of a reason why you do that. There might be some issue if used as a branding thing or something like that, but you should be free to link whatever you want. Like the problem that shouldn't realistically be a problem. And if it were to ever become a problem that you link something, you could just block the URL. But I don't know. Maybe someone with a little bit more law expertise can clarify that. Okay, let's see. Sargon has a suit now. Well, yeah, it's not really much better than this last one, to be honest. This down. Second. Steal the memes to own the SJWs. Yeah, it's his usual go-to. Going down a bit. He is handling basic questions so well. Doesn't look unhinged at all. Really appeals to the Euro MRA demographic. Yeah, I think that he will have all 10,000 MRAs that live in England voting for him. Doesn't Sargon have a thirst for tranny cock? Yep. Yep, to the best of my knowledge, yeah, that has been confirmed by his wife. And I have no reason to disbelieve her on that one. Honestly, I think, in all seriousness, I think Sargon has shown multiple occasions he's a faggot. And if he was to go to, and honestly, if for whatever reason he was to end up in a prison cell, he'd have this hugest grin on his face. And when people would ask him why, he just burst out laughing. In Dankler's YouTube video, The Clown Cometh, the court basically told him to pay up or else. Yeah, basically. Alright. I thought he was going to donate, regarding Dankula, I thought he was going to donate to charity, as was going to jail. That was with the whole meme when he called the cops. If he's going to donate to charity, and the people who donated to this were made aware of this when they made their donation, like he told them specifically that was the case, then I guess it makes it slightly less bad. I mean, I don't get why people are throwing the money at him anyway, and we haven't gotten any, but no, actually, I don't accept that, because it's not on his GoFundMe page, and also, it it was never updated to say, yeah, the money went to charity or whatever. All that's happened was the guy, he made this big deal about appealing the case, and it looks like there's no realistic options to appeal it because all the people in charge will just tell him, no, go fuck yourself. You broke the law, which he did. And I'm not seeing him getting around that. And it bugs me that the media, whenever they report it, they always talk about the pug doing the not the salute thing. I mean, it should be him giggling and cackling over saying things like gas the Jews and Hitler was right or whatever other phrases he made. All right. Marcus Machine, aka Count Dankula, is a pariah and was depersoned, allegedly according to Sargon and Computing Forever. I mean, it just did they say that? Someone sent me a clip of them saying that. If there is a clip of Sargon or Computing Forever or any of these other YouTubers saying stuff like that, send it my way because I just gotta. The last thing that Dankula became was pariah. He got like so much sympathy and support from a lot of people, and not just from the YouTube scene, also from the mainstream. Like people have this guy is not pariah at all. Like the only reason why anyone knows Count Dankula is because he got himself arrested. So yeah, like come on, just it's dumb. In fairness, people donated to him. If they want to support him, then that's their fault. Yeah, it comes to the pay picky question. Should they all be gassed? Or more realistically, how much is it the pay pig's fault that they got hoodwinked or whatever? I don't know, man. I mean, it would be much easier if people didn't just give their money away to people on the internet, but at the same time, though, like, if you're doing these fundraisers and shit, I don't know. There needs to be more regulation with this shit because people keep on getting robbed out of their money. Or maybe the solution really is just bully the pay piggies until it becomes socially unacceptable to just give to a beggar. That might be the solution to the problem. But I think the onus should also be on the con men because if you raise yeah, they're idiots for donating to the thing, but if you're telling people that you're raising money for a specific purpose and you don't carry it out, or you only do half measures or whatever, and it doesn't get carried out properly, then no, that still makes you a lying piece of shit. Like at that point, how do you say that the person donating the money was really at fault when they were hoodwinked? Again, I'll let the I don't know. Tell me if you think honestly, I think the more onus should be put on these people doing the fundraisers because they never get held accountable, like hardly ever. Hell, I bet the Honey Badgers are still making bank off of MRA faggots who just keep throwing their money at them because no one bothers to call them out on their stupid, dumb, give us money bullshit. After the whole, and again, if they fuck up so badly that they waste over this shouldn't even be something that I have to spell out to people. Like, if they hoodwink the public on something that had no fruition of ever being a thing, then they shouldn't have a career as a YouTuber or like an internet personality, whatever they want to be. It's the gullibility of people is just at an all-time high, and honestly, I think that I'm taking this way too seriously. I should just laugh at the retards and stop thinking of solutions here. In reference to pay pigs, such as people who have funded the Guns Miami trip. Yep, that's another example of people being dumb and giving it that was a scam. They didn't care for the content. They didn't care for all the shows they're going to do. The backer rewards never delivered. They didn't do the things they promised where they just go out every night, meet up with the fans, etc. Instead, they decided to make it about the fight between Andy and Ralph, which apparently I heard a rumor down the pipeline that they're gay lovers. I mean, I think it's been confirmed at this point that they're both faggots, but were they actually in a relationship? Is there any evidence to back that up? I do recall a clip of Ethan mentioning, maybe in a joking manner or whatever, that he's gonna either he or Andy was gonna fuck the other in the ass or something like that. But I don't know. That might just be a stupid rumor. Don't know. All right. Reading on. Computing Forever is best known for skipping Kilroy and deleting his anti-Sargon video. Yeah. Computing Forever is a faggot. He can eat shit and die too. Like I said, the Crown Cometh was regarding the £800 being due. So if they got the money, shrug. Okay. Must not be Sargon fans. Okay, I think we're caught up. Okay, we got some more comments here. Give me a second. Talk Shit has some shit to say. And he's totally not a member of the Plague Gang here, saying, "Is your idol Ethan Ralph? LOL, articles and videos and poll shit." No, you idiot. My idol is not Ethan Ralph. I regular shit on the guy on this channel over and over again. Like, Ralph is a honestly, what more do I have to say about Ralph at this point? Ralph is, actually I could say a lot more. Ralph is a degenerate fat piece of shit. Like, Ralph has been doing this for a lot. He's always been a fat degenerate piece of shit. I don't think I have to say much more. He's a guy, he's in a fake relationship just so he can promote himself. Or, well, okay, let me rephrase that, because I don't know for sure if the relationship with him and Nora is fake or not. But there's one of two possibilities there. Either he's willing to enter a green card relationship just to give himself married status and promote himself. Oh yeah, I totally get laid, guys. I have a wife that visits me every few months. And maybe he does get tail. But the fact of the matter is, if this relationship is real, then she's just using him to get ahead. And if the reverse is the case, and if it's not true, if this is just a fake relationship, then he's such a beta male that, you know what? It probably confirms the rumors that he's a faggot, like a literal homosexual, because he has to have a beard in order to show that, yeah, I'm totally having sex with women, okay? I'm not gay, all right? So, what else do you want? I don't get why anyone would think that I would idolize Ralph. I mean, hell, if you actually looked at one of my last one of the last articles I wrote was me shitting on him directly, and a bunch of other faggots too. But him in particular, I actually point out was just basically an e-whore. I mean, hell, you can just watch the other videos. Tommy is even. I read that comment. Let's see. Tommy's a football hooligan with a decent patter. Sargon is thirsty for a pick with Trump in the Oval Office. Probably. I mean, he honestly, depending on where things go with UKIP, we may actually live in a universe where Trump is actually tweeting out about Sargon of Akkad. I'm not sure if that's likely or not. I'm going to go with unlikely. While it's a possibility, I think that the fact of the matter is Farage and Trump have a better connection with one another. That I think that in the fight currently, because Farage is presently doing better with his Brexit party, much better in the polls. I think Farage is going to win out, and Trump will be saying stuff about Farage and not saying anything about Sargon whatsoever. Holy shit, second he mentioned the kids, stream froze for me. Okay, that's a really weird coincidence. Maybe Sargon, maybe those merchants that Sargon was talking about, maybe they have a secret connection and they decide to try to sabotage the stream a little bit so I wouldn't talk shit about his kid. Sargon can't manage an $8,000 Kickstarter for a game, but think he should be given power to handle policies, LOL. Yep, sounded up brilliant. Sounded up right there. Haven't heard about nut scrape in a while. Everyone look out! Sargon documentary. It's coming out soon. It should be good. Is there a Sargon documentary? That's gonna. You know what? I might just live stream that whole. I might just make an entire stream just on the Sargon documentary. and just to laugh at it. Okay, got a few more here. Count Dankula also lusts after dick girls. Yeah, that's a fact. He's admitted this in private that he fucks them. So Count Dankula is like, are you guys starting to see a pattern here with this? Like, there's like a lot of people use the word like these guys are literal homosexuals. Like a lot of them. Like, I don't know what it is, but these e-celebs, when like they tend to be faggots. Like some of the connection there. I might want to look into that. Also, Sam Hyde has been going in on Sargon recently. Good on Sam Hyde. I might yeah, Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde I got mixed opinions on as far as his content goes. I heard some rumors that he was interested in degenerate shit, but I don't know if that's been confirmed or not. As far as like his stuff goes, some of it's pretty funny. Other stuff is really too absurd for me to like I don't know. Some of it's good, some of it's really out there. I would actually, you know what? Considering that none of it's really all that bad, yeah, I like Sam Hyde. He's a good comedian. Even if he is a bit oddball sometimes. Sargon was such a spurg with his Twitter account. He thought he was posting on poll. Yeah, I mean, the guy wants to be. I don't know. This Sargon post on poll. I don't know. Like, actually, I don't know if he posted on poll, but I do know for a fact that he probably at this point he's probably going for poll right now, looking up memes just to steal, rip off, and use them to trigger the libs and own the libs. Sargon of Akkad versus Alicia Hughes still going on. This one, yeah. Yeah, I looked into that a bit. I found some funny. I did find a couple of funny tidbits about that, but I did mention that before. I don't know what's going on with the specifics of that lawsuit. It might still be going on. It might have been settled out of court. I don't know. I'll have to look more into it. And if anyone has any leads on that, send them my way. That is something worth looking into. Let's see. Video of Andy Worski going down Alex. I've heard about this, and I think that's supposed to be going down on Alex. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen Andy's Twitter. He seems to be really, really. I don't know. Either he's LARPing as a homosexual as a joke, or I take that back. Andy is a homosexual. Like, it's quite apparent to me, at least, that this guy's a faggot. I don't know how you could argue otherwise at this point. The guy dyes his hair all kinds of weird colors. He actively says that he visited the Pulse shooting place and gets a ghostly feel from it. He quote unquote pretends to be gay with Failure and Alex and others. Yeah, I think the guy is definitely gay, or at least very likely to be gay. All right. Ghosts don't die. Can't you get out of this alive? That was from Verlo, although we don't really have confirmation that it's him. Maybe his account was hacked, because I could have sworn you were dead. But moving on. I think Ralph might be a junkie. Honestly, they might all be junkies. Like, Ralph we know does coke. Sargon looks like he does coke. Baked Alaska, the name. Enough said. Who else? Zoom looked high going around New York City, but honestly, he's probably just autistic, so maybe he's clean. Maybe he's the one clean one out of all of them. Who else is there? Well, with Ralph's history with alcohol. Yeah, he is a drunk. That is for sure. Ralph's case. Ralph is a super, Ralph has admitted to doing coke before and other drugs, or at least has heavily alluded to it. Like, he used to joke about how he and Lay, would get along because, they would do the same kind of drugs. And it would explain a bit of his erratic behavior if he took something like meth, because once you take that shit, you're permanently fucked up, and I don't think there's any getting around that. To be fair, Kelly, you were friendly with Ralph for a while. yeah, like, I mean, there was times where I was like on good terms with him, but I mean, he turned out to be a piece of shit in the end. And frankly, I think I was a little undercritical of him in retrospect. If Sargon disbands the EU, I'd have to rethink everything. Clown World is real. I don't know. Sargon is not like, okay, Sargon, it's possible, not likely, but it's possible Sargon could win office because of how fucked up the UK is. That is entirely possible, and part of me kind of wants to see it just for the memes. Just see him fuck up some more. Wants to see him win office. But there's no fixing the EU. Like, there's no fixing the political shit. Like, that's something that I have to say, I think a lot of people are waking up to. I don't know if they're going the correct direction, though, with this. But, yeah, the political system is fucked. It's been fucked for quite some time. And there's no fixing it. You're not going to vote your way into a new preferred political system that caters to your group. It's not going, and it's definitely not going to turn rightward. There's not going to be a pendulum swing anytime soon. Not without some kind of major catastrophe happening. Thing is, though, and this would probably involve a deeper discussion, and maybe not even and not in this episode, but I don't know if people are looking at the right way. I think that people are just they're kind of going, it's fucked, but they don't really know what to do next after that point. Props to Paul Joseph Watson, who I thought was a homo, for the pump and dump on Ashton Birdie. Baked Alaska and her still together. Is that real? Okay, if you got evidence of that, send that my way, because that's some shit I want to look into now. But I don't think that outrules PJW being a faggot. I mean, he was bragging about going to gay bars, and he did take that one photo saying, "We're queer, we're here," with another dude who he quote unquote joked about being his cousin. And it's real? How did I not hear this? Okay, so if someone's got a link to that, just post it either in the try to post in the chat or post in the Discord server, because I gotta see that. In fact, maybe I should just Google it. Let's see. All right, Ashton Birdie and Paul Joseph Watson. Let's see what I get up. All right, here we go. Okay, yeah, this is gonna definitely. All right, Okay, I gotta look into this, but not tonight. I think I'm gonna start slowing things down. Sargon gets too swole. If Sargon gets too swole, Sargon's plane crashes, Sargon dies. Radical feminist did it. Yeah. Well, according to Sargon, as far as I'm aware, the only thing, according to Sargon, as far as I'm aware, the only thing that whatchamacallit. Let's see. Oh, right. According to Sargon, if Nina Sarkeesian dropped dead, then the world's problems would be saved. The West would be saved. Video games would be ultra masculine. They would be ultra fun. Islam would reform itself. There'd be no religion. You'd have 20 million World Trade Center buildings, etc. And yeah, that's the world according to Sargon. Talk about the Plate Gang. I could talk about them for a bit, but I was planning on saving that for another stream. The Plate Game is basically a quote unquote trolling group who does ops for reasons that are totally for the lulz, guys. It's not like they're taking orders from. It's not like they were for months and months and months taking orders from Ralph and doing his dirty work, and possibly still are to this day. And it's not like they've taking orders from Zoom. Like, no, that's just a conspiracy theory, guy. They're just posting Pepe memes. We got that confirmation, all right? So, but yeah, I'll be going more in depth about the Plate Gang in the next show. Tonight, I just want to talk about the Sargon shit, and I didn't really see room for talk about the Plate Gang tonight. But if someone wants to come on and talk about it a little bit more, or hell, if certain individual totally not plate gang members like that talk shit guy earlier want to come here and talk some shit, they're more than welcome to hop into the VC, and we can talk about the plate gang some more. All right. A few more comments. Wait till they bring up the Kekistan killer connections on Sargoi. That'll be interesting. That'll be real interesting. Mr. Fribble, should I send? Okay, something in the chat over there. It's simple. We have to kill Anita. Kill the Anita. Exactly. If you just if you just join up with the Kekistani army, you can get. You could go ahead and launch an assault at the feminist cathedral, take it down, blow it up. All right, down further. Okay, so a couple more comments, and then I think we'll close out. Once they have used up Sargon, they will have too much to attack him with him, and most likely they will dub him the incel candidate. Ain't she ripping on movies currently? I don't know what Anita's doing. The last time I looked at a video from Anita, she was complaining that people were being too mean. Like, what was it? They were complaining that. What was it? Oh yeah, Anita Sarkeesian was complaining that gay jokes at Trump's expense was homophobic, which I don't give a shit. Like, Trump's a piece of shit. I'm not exactly a fan of homosexuals, so I don't know. I think that, honestly, I think Anita is irrelevant at this point. So it's just, I don't really, honestly, I don't really have much strong opinions about her at this point. I don't think that she was all that relevant. Well, she was sort of relevant in some sense, but I think her time of relevancy has passed, and in the grand scheme of things, if Anita's going to be like, this dumb feminist who just doesn't get video games or whatever, wants more women in them, I can't bring myself to give a shit about that. So, all right, that about closes it up for tonight. I'll do another show. Hopefully, I'll do another show soon. Hopefully, it won't be like another 2 week waiting time. And on the next episode, I think that since it was requested in the chat, and since they seem to be still lurking in the shadows or whatever, we'll be talking about the plate gang some more and their connections with certain not so trolls that are that they're totally not taking orders from. That's conspiracy theory. Don't believe that. All right. Anyway, peace out, guys. Have a good night, and take care.